Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's online webinar. So let me first introduce this Godly University. So this is Prajapita Brahma Kumari Godly University, established on 1936. Our headquarters is at Mount Abu, Rajasthan. So to provide service in different sectors of society, Brahma Kumaris has founded 20 different wings, like medical wings, IT wings, security wings, women wings, etc. Out of which IT wing is one of them. And today's session is organized by IT wing of Brahma Kumaris. Brahma Kumaris is providing the godly service all over the globe. In India, we are having more than 8,000 meditation centers, and across the globe, in 140 countries, this Brahma Kumaris providing the godly service. The main objective of this IT wing is to bring the transformation in IT professionals. This IT wing started the godly service in the year 2015, where many different offline, online sessions has been organized, and thousands of IT professionals bring change in their life. How to transform ourselves from human doing to human being, and it's bring a very positive transformation in each and everyone's life. This IT wings of Brahma Kumaris, like in many companies also, we have conducted the session. In MNCs, we conducted the sessions. Now, due to this pandemic, we all are in online webinar. And today's online webinar, we are very fortunate to have Raj Yogi, Brahma Kumari sister Asmita. She has come in contact with Brahma Kumaris in 1994, and she dedicated herself in 2001. Currently, she is doing the godly service at Rajasthan. She is providing the service in securities wings of Brahma Kumaris, and also is the executive members of scientist and engineering wings of Brahma Kumaris. She participated in many programs like our Swarnim Bharat Yuva Padyatra programs, All India Campaign of Nature and the Environment, or also she participated as a key speaker in Mera Bharat Swarnim Bharat exhibition. She has completed BE in Mechanical, and also she has MSc in Spirituality and MBA in the Management background. So let's welcome Sister Asmita to start today's session. Very warm welcome, sister, to today's session.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Good evening to all of you. It's my privilege to talk to you all. And we have a wonderful topic today, that is the role of visualization in powerful meditation. Today, everyone understands the fact that meditation has to be a part of life, because outside there are so much ups and downs. And in spite of that, if we want to keep our mind cool, stable, and calm, then we need to practice meditation. But meditation needs a lot of concentration. And normally it has been found that people, they have a wish to meditate, they want to meditate, and they sit to meditate also. But they keep on complaining that we are not able to concentrate. The mind is always moving here and there. What to do? So what we have learned in Brahma Kumaris, we have learned from the knowledge given by the Supreme Power, Almighty Godfather, that concentration actually means the mind and intellect being unidirectional. Mind and intellect becomes unidirectional means whatever the mind thinks, the same the intellect visualizes. That means when I am thinking that I am a point of light, and at the same time I am visualizing that I am a sparkling point of light, then there is concentration, and that creates a kind of beautiful experience within. And we know it is said that everything is created twice in the world. First in the mind and then in reality. Whatever inventions made till date, whosoever invented, they started the thing with an imagination only. Let's take the example of Wright brothers. They saw the birds flying and a thought came, it would have been so good if we too could fly. And he kept on working. And at last in 1908, he could be successful to invent a motor operated airplane. So the thing started with an imagination only, started with a thought, and then an imagination, then a visualization, then constant hard work, and finally it resulted into a very beautiful invention. Similarly, we need to take the help of the power of imagination, the power of visualization we have been blessed with. What we see, what we do not see, that's a choice with us. And spirituality always teaches us to see the good. Spirituality teaches us to always think that my present is the best. And if I think it is the best, then it becomes the best also. So there are some spiritual principles which are backed by science also, because spirituality is always backed by science. The aim of spirituality and the aim of science is the same. Science explores the truth, but it explores the truth which can be seen in the eyes. Science says seeing is believing. But spiritual science, it explores those truths which cannot be seen, which is beyond the experience of the senses. And it is called supersensory experiences. So the ultimate aim is to explore the truth only. But the truths which cannot be explored by science can be explored by spiritual science. So spiritual science takes us to a higher plane where we see all those what cannot be seen by these physical eyes. That's the reason why the role of spirituality is always important in life. And in spirituality, in the practice of meditation, we are taught to use the technique of visualization. Because one difficulty people find while they sit in meditation is they are not able to concentrate. And the second difficulty people find while they sit to meditate is as soon as they sit in meditation and it's a very peaceful atmosphere, so normally it has been found that people go into sleep. So they sit in meditation to experience a different thing, to connect with God, to empower the self, but they go into sleep because the mind becomes dull. But in practice of meditation, when we create very powerful positive thinking, and as well related to our thought, we create visions, we create pictures, we start visualizing the things. Then automatically the mind and intellect both are engaged. So there is no question of going into sleep. And moreover, when the mind and intellect become unidirectional, we start experiencing. And there is a very deeper level of concentration, and it becomes easy to experience. And I remember one statement which had been quoted by Albert Einstein. I would like to mention it. He said, imagination is much more important. Wait a minute. He said, imagination is much more important than knowledge. Because today in the world, people have a lot of knowledge, information, everything. But when we start seeing whatever we believe, when we start seeing whatever we understand or whatever we have learned, then slowly we go into a different plane where we start bringing all those things into practice. So that's why it's very important to understand that the power of imagination is very important, and we need to know how to use it. I remember a quotation quoted by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He said, we should teach our kids how to dream. Dream is not that what we see when we are in sleep, but actually dreams are those which do not allow us to sleep. That means, suppose I dream to be a doctor. Suppose I dream to be a scientist. Suppose I dream to be a astronaut. Then my dream should have so much of potential. It should be so strong that I just keep on trying hard to achieve my goal. I just keep on trying hard unless I fulfill my dream. So that should actually be the dream. And a beautiful statement, again, I would like to quote, which was stated by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He said, small aim is a crime. And the beauty in spirituality is that spirituality teaches us always to aim high. So we should aim high and strive for it. So if I aim to be a world famous doctor and I strive for it, then it is definite that we use the maximum of our potential, and we can, the probability of reaching to my goal becomes very easy. So that's the reason why it is important to see what we want. And if we understand the language of mind, then the language of mind is music, and the second one is color, and the third one is image. In our time, what I remember, when we were learning A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, simply there used to be words only. A for apple, B for ball, B for bat, C for cat. But these days, in all the books, we find apple, there will be an image of apple. Ball, there will be an image of ball. Cat, image of cat. And what we find, that when we see an image, then it is very easy to remember that. So along with image, the word that is registered very easily in the memory. That means image has a very good impact on the mind. So only thinking, and thinking along with seeing, makes a lot of difference. And actually, the power of visualization is experienced when we sit in meditation. Because once you start seeing, then automatically that the probability of that thing happening becomes very high. See, we always see a world which is full of joy, peace, bliss, health, happiness, and a nature full of tranquility. So the probability of that future being real becomes very high. What I mean, science also agrees with this. Where our focus goes, our energy flows. And where our energy flows, that thing automatically grows. Say, I focus on worries, the problems. I focus on the shortcomings. I focus on the loopholes in my personality. So definitely my energy flows to those all negativities. And the probability of negativity to grow will be higher. Say I focus on peace, I focus on love, I focus on the attainments that I have achieved in my life, then automatically that positivity will grow. My energy will flow to the positivity, the attainments, the achievements, and automatically that will grow. So upon what I focus, that choice is with me only. I focus on what I am not having, or I focus on what I am having. So if I focus on what I am having, I'll be happy. I'll feel contented. And if I focus on what I am not having, and I just keep on thinking that I should have that, I should have this, so that will create worries only. And because I focus on worries most of the time, so my worry will automatically grow. So spirituality teaches us that our focus should always be on something positive, because science says seeing is believing. And there is a beautiful law. It's called law of attraction. And law of attraction says like attracts like. So it has been normally found, if you are a beautiful personality, you are very, very humble, you are very submissive, you are very polite, you are very loving, you are very caring, then normally it happens that in your vicinity, you find friends of that kind of personality only. If you are helping, you find people or you find friends who too are helping to you. And the reason is actually like attracts like. So if you are good, so it is definite that you will be surrounded by good people only. Because when you are good, you see the good in everyone, and everyone seems to good to you. So that's the beauty of the mind. That is the beauty of law of attraction. So when I focus on the positivity, when I see good in everybody, then automatically I find everybody very good. And I start feeling good. I see good and I start feeling good. So our experiences of life actually depends upon the kind of thought we create in our mind. Normally we say thoughts come to our mind. What to do? I didn't want, but this thought came to my mind. But actually, if we go into a deeper level, then we understand that whatever we have in our subconscious, depending on that, thoughts automatically come up in the mind. So it's not that thought just come like that. Whatever thoughts come in our mind, that has a logic behind it, that has a cause behind it, that has a reason behind it. So if in my conscious as well in my subconscious, I have only positive and positive. So it is quite natural when I am conscious, knowingly my thoughts will be positive. And even when I am not very much conscious, still my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions will always be positive, because I have fed positive only to my subconscious. So it is important to understand the art of meditation. We say art of focusing thoughts. It is art of focusing thoughts on whatever I want to, whenever I want to, and for however long I want to. Yani, that means if I want to focus on studies for half an hour, then my mind should be that much focused. I should have that much of concentration that for entire half an hour, my mind will not go anywhere else. It is fully focused in studies only. If I want to focus in game, say I am fond of playing football. I want to enjoy football for 2 hours. So my mind is fully into football and I am just enjoying. I am not worrying about household activities. I am not worrying about studies. I am not worrying about anything else at that time. Fully 2 hours, I have made up my mind that 2 hours I need to play. And my mind has become so much focused that I am enjoying the game entirely. And as soon as the game is over, whatever way I have planned to study for 1 hour. So I am into studies. So after 1 hour studies, I have decided that next for half an hour, I'll do some painting work. So my mind is focused in painting. I'm enjoying it to the fullest. So this is what actually we develop by the practice of meditation. So meditation never teaches us to leave your home or leave your job or leave your responsibilities. Never. But meditation teaches us even taking care of your family responsibilities and your job responsibilities. We should be able to remain easy. When we are very busy, we have a very busy schedule. In that busy schedule also, I should know how to remain easy. And that's only possible by practice of meditation. But our focus today is how to have a very powerful meditation. And in powerful meditation, the role of visualization is very, very important. So today we are going to practice it. How to visualize. The very important thing, meditation is actually meant to bring transformation in practical life. Suppose I am very angry in nature. I have enrolled myself into meditation course because today offline course, and especially during the period of pandemic, we all have been very much used to online courses. So many of us are undergoing many online meditation courses also. Suppose offline or online, whatever. I have undergone meditation course and I have started practicing. But even though I have been practicing meditation for a month, for 2 months, or for 3 months, still I don't find any transformation in my personality, then definitely somewhere something is wrong. Suppose I want to charge my mobile phone, cell phone, and I have put my cell phone into charge also. But by mistake, by chance, some connection is loose somewhere. Will my cell phone get charged? He will say no, it cannot get charged. It will get charged only if the connections are proper, right? Similarly, sitting for meditation is not enough. It's good that we understand the importance of meditation. It's good that we are able to find some time for meditation. But it is equally important that we should learn the process of meditation properly, and we should be able to focus on that almighty power. Then only we can be benefited by that. So if I have been meditating and I have the same level of anger, so definitely somewhere something is wrong. I have been meditating, but I want to be very a personality of very strong willpower, but still I am weak, even though I am meditating. That means somewhere the procedure what I have been following is wrong. So we need to understand actually how to apply the power of meditation, power of visualization in practicing meditation. So we all know about positive affirmation. I hope I need not explain it very much elaborately. Affirmations means very strong, determined thoughts. And if we give those positive thoughts, we take those positive thoughts in the morning, when our subconscious is very powerful. We know the mind has two levels, one is conscious and one is subconscious. May I know if any one of you can share how much power is there with the subconscious and how much with the conscious mind? Yes, anyone please? How much power we have in the subconscious and how much with the conscious? Yes, you can share your answers in the chat. Okay. Anjuji's writing is 1090 and Mohan Singh has written subconscious has more power than conscious. And Gagan writes that it is maximum subconscious, 90 subconscious. Okay, okay. You are very much right. Just like an iceberg. If we put an iceberg in water, then only 10% is above water and 90% is submerged. Similarly, only 10% power or even less than 10% power is there with the conscious. More than 90% power lies in the subconscious. But the beauty we need to understand, the subconscious works, the subconscious is powerful when the conscious mind is silent. But the problem with us today is the conscious mind is so active. It is working so much that it is never silent. And if the conscious is not silent, then the subconscious doesn't become powerful. It does not activate. So actually in meditation, we learn how to keep our conscious mind silent. And the moment the conscious mind is silent, the subconscious is activated. And it is found that when we wake up in the morning, our subconscious is most powerful. And when we decide to sleep, we start winding up everything. Then also slowly the subconscious starts getting activated. One question I would like to ask you, how many of you think that our mind does not work when we sleep? Does our mind work when we sleep in the night? It works or it does not work? Yes, please. Mohan Singh is writing that it works while sleeping. Okay. Anyone else? During sleep, mind works or it doesn't work? Gopalji writing not true. It works on the subconscious. Okay. 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 It works, but we do not come to know. We never know what way it is working. And somebody rightly has written that actually our subconscious is working in the night. Definitely the conscious mind is almost silent, but the subconscious keeps on working. And that's the reason why if a mosquito bites, then you will find in the morning that stain of blood in your dress or in your whatever whatever clothes you were using, you'll find that some stain of blood. So we come to know that definitely some mosquito has bitten me in the night. And so these things work so naturally, and it is all because our subconscious keeps on working even we are in sleep. So when we start winding up the things, the subconscious start getting activated. And when we get up in the morning, subconscious is in very powerful stage. So when the subconscious is very powerful, whatever programming we feed, it's a practice we have observed that simply that thing starts happening. For example, we always understand our personality much better than anyone else. I know myself the best because I know what I am inside. Because many a times we pretend to behave something else which we actually not. But the inner personality, we ourselves know what is my inner personality. Say, I know that if such situations happen in front of me, then normally I get angry. If somebody tells a lie, then I get angry. I do not like some particular personality. So when I meet him or when I talk to him or when that personality is in front of me, then normally I feel very discomfortable. But today in the morning, I got up, I sat in meditation. I created a thought that from today onwards, from now onwards, whenever I'll be in front of that personality, I'll feel good. I'll behave nicely. I'll talk very lovingly and I'll have a very, very good feeling. So this is a thought I created, right? And based on the thought, I created a vision that we both of are in front of one another. I am talking to him, very polite, very loving, and I am feeling very good to be with him. See now, I thought that I want to be comfortable with that personality. I created a picture, I started visualizing that I am with that particular person and I am very comfortable. I am talking to him very lovingly, very nicely, and I am very polite. He too is very polite with me. See, till date, he used to be very arrogant with me. But today I started creating a thought. He is very polite with me and I too am very polite with him. And so this particular vision I create a number of times. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and even the next day. So what our experience says, whatever vision we create again and again and again, the probability of that thing happening is automatically grows up. And because I have tuned my mind, because I have programmed my mind, because I have fed the strong programming that I want to be comfortable with that person. I know that till date I have been very much uncomfortable with him. All the time I met him, all the time I came in contact with him. But it is my strong thought from today that I want to be comfortable. And I just started visualizing. And depending on the visualization created once, twice, thrice, practically when I'll come in contact with him, when I'll be in front of him, depending on the programming I have already fed, so I'll talk to him nicely, I'll behave to him nicely, I'll be very polite with him, and ultimately it will result that I felt very much comfortable with me. And if the thing does not work when I met him first time, it doesn't matter. Still, I start creating the same vision that, okay, this time I could not be that comfortable, but I'm sure the next time when I'll meet him, talk to him, when I'll be with him, I'll feel very comfortable. So again, I continue with the visualization. I am with him. He is polite. I am polite. He is loving. I am loving. He is caring. I am caring. And we are very much comfortable with one another. So if I continue with the visualization, I have a very strong, determined thought, then it is definite that if not in the first meeting, then at least in the second, third, or fourth meeting, whatever I have visualized, that is going to be a reality. So this is the power of visualization. Everybody wants to be very peaceful, calm, and stable. And we all know which all situations bring anger to make us angry. So we visualize all those situations, that in this situation I normally get angry, but if this situation comes in future in my life, then this is the way I want to behave. This is the way I want to respond. See, one is we get carried by the type of behavior we have been showing till now. And the second thing is we decide the way to behave, we decide how to act, we decide to be proactive, and we feed that programming, and depending on the programming we have fed, we just keep on observing our own behavior. And then I can give a marking that depending on the programming fed, today I could be 20% successful only, but nothing to worry. The same visualization, the same practice, the same positivity we have to continue with. Maybe next time I am 40% successful. Maybe third time I am 50% successful. And ultimately a time will come, I'll be fully successful. That's the reason why visualization plays an important role. Yeah, somebody writes in Raj Yoga, it is said that you should detach yourself from body and keep yourself light as a soul, connect to Supreme Soul, and visualize that all the soul powers, peace, love, purity, etc. are recharged from Supreme, but it seems not easy to constantly follow the same. What's your advice here? How to maintain the same, and is it a right approach? Yes, it's true. See, meditation is meant to empower. And the process of meditation starts with detachment only. So we try to detach ourselves from all belongings, from everybody else who is there around us. And we try to focus in the center of forehead. We create a thought, and as well we visualize that I am a sparkling point of light. And then we have the knowledge that just like the soul is a point of light, the Supreme Soul is also a point of light. So me a light, and he too a light, but I am the lower source and he is the higher source. And there is a law of science, energy flows from higher potential to lower potential. And because I am lacking peace, I am lacking happiness, I am lacking love, and he being the ocean of happiness, ocean of peace, and ocean of love, the moment I connect, there is a flow. And the flow occurs by default. And you must be knowing that in meditation, we never beg, never. We just connect to the Almighty, and the flow happens, but naturally. You are lacking peace, you will feel in few minutes of meditation, your mind has become fully peaceful. You are lacking love, in a few seconds, in a few minutes, you will experience that you are filled with God's love. So that will fulfill all your requirements. So that's the beautiful experience in meditation. But definitely, if you say that it's difficult to maintain that same stage, so that's because we lack concentration. And if you apply the power of visualization properly, then you will find that sitting in meditation for half an hour, sitting in meditation for 1 hour, sitting in meditation for 1.5 hours even, will seem to you as if you have sat for 5 minutes only, because that will be so enlightening, that will be so enriching. So when we are not able to concentrate, even 5 minutes of meditation seems to be very difficult. And when your focus is good and you start experiencing beautiful things, peace, love, etc., then even 1 hour will seem to be 5 minutes only. Okay. So actually that is the beauty in visualizing the things. So initially we start with connecting with God. We detach ourselves from all worldly beings, all worldly things. We focus our attention in the middle of forehead. The first step is withdraw from all worldly affairs. The second step is contemplation, means focusing our attention in the middle of forehead, where the life energy, the vital force, the soul, the spirit exists. And then the soul has a deep connection with the Almighty, the Godfather. Then we focus our attention on the Supreme Being, who too is a point of light, ocean of love, peace, bliss, etc. And then the moment we concentrate on Him, the moment we focus on Him, automatically we feel the flow of love, flow of bliss, flow of peace, flow of happiness, flow of patience, etc. and etc. So there is an empowered stage. It does not matter for how much time we sit in meditation. What matters is what was my focus, what was my level of concentration when I sit in meditation. So if I'm very much focused, even 5 minutes of meditation can charge the battery. Even 5 minutes of meditation can empower me, can enlighten me, can enrich me. Okay. And then after we experience peace, love, bliss, etc., it is very much important to have a post-meditative thought. Say, today, 5 minutes, I sat in meditation and I experienced that I am a peaceful being. I am experiencing that my inner self has become very peaceful. Then I create a thought. Today, in my practical life, I'll be coming in contact with many people in my house, in my job field, in the society. But I take a determined thought, whatever be the behavior of others, I'll keep myself cool, calm, and stable. I shall remain peaceful. A very important thing to be learned here, to understand here, that many a times we see people creating thoughts that today I'll not get angry, I'll remain at peace, and I'll not get angry. Do you think there is some difference in both the statements? I shall not get angry. This is one thought. And I shall remain peaceful. This is another thought. Are both the statements are same or different? Yes, please. I shall remain peaceful and I'll not get angry. These two statements are same or different? Mohan Singh ji is writing that these two statements are different. Different in which sense? One is negative and one is positive. Okay. Okay. Venu ji is writing it's different. Okay. Okay. It's different. I tell you one example. You must have heard that if I say that take care that you should not fall. Take care that you should not fall. Two brothers, were on a tree and they are holding a branch of the tree. The mother says one brother that take care that you should not fall. And the mother of the other boy says her that hold it tightly. And it was found that the brother who was given the command that hold it tightly didn't fall. But the boy who was given command that take care that you should not fall, he actually fell down. Different in second one, we are programming peace. Yes, we are programming peace. We are giving the peace word to the subconscious. Important thing to be understood here is that our subconscious mind does not understand the word not. If I say, for example, if I say that we will sit in meditation now, we will be focusing our thoughts, and it's my instruction to all of you that this 1 minute that we are sitting in meditation, you should not remember the monkey. Okay? So now let's sit in meditation for 1 minute and none of you should remember monkey. Okay? So let's sit. Just try to think what is coming in your mind. What is coming in your mind? Yes, please reply. The command given was, you should not remember the monkey. And what did you find? What came in your mind? Yes, please. I want your response. Monkey. Monkey is there in the mind. Cannot override the instruction. Okay. Okay. See, our subconscious mind do not understand the word not. You said monkey. Subconscious visualized monkey. So you said you should not, but not word is gone, and monkey is in the mind only. So it is important that whenever we give programming to our mind, there should not be any statement which contains the word not. That means I will not get angry is not the right programming. The right programming is I shall remain peaceful. No matter what happens to me, no matter what way people behave to me. So that means the programming given to the mind is peace. The subconscious visualizes myself to be peaceful, and that only happens. Practically, whatever things happen, simply I have a focus that I need to keep myself peaceful. So based on this visualization principle, we practice visualization, and what our experience says, it leads to beautiful experience. Okay. So now, are you all ready for meditation? Are you all ready for meditation? Yes, please. Ready? Very good. So let's all sit erect, straight. Let our backbone be straight. Whatever belongings you are holding in your hand or in on your lap, just keep it aside. Sit comfortable, relax, but alert. Especially in Raj Yoga meditation, we keep our eyes open I'm not sure since when you are attached to Brahma Kumaris or you are very much new to Brahma Kumaris. So I request to keep your eyes open if you are comfortable. And if you feel I cannot concentrate with open eyes, then you can keep your eyes closed. And let your body be very stable. Slowly focus your attention on yourself. Visualize the self in the room you are in, sitting on the floor, chair, or sofa. I have listened to people all the time. I have seen outside. All the time. These few minutes are to see myself. These few minutes to go within. I focus my attention on my breathing. Just observe yourself breathing in and breathing out. Very naturally and normally. I slowly focus my attention on middle of my forehead. I visualize the self as a sparkling point of light. A shining living star. I see myself as an energy, a light. And just like rays radiate from a bulb, from the sparkling point of light in the middle of forehead, rays are radiating around. I am the energy which drives the body. I reside in the body, but totally different than the body. I, the soul, have entered into the body externally. And has to leave the body once. In between, I have this beautiful journey of life. I meet so many people. I have bonding with so many people. Today, I create a strong, determined thought. With each and everyone. I shall be very comfortable. I understand the beauty of God's creation. Each and every soul, each blessed with some speciality. And each and everyone in the world has their own inabilities, shortcomings. Still, I appreciate each fellow being. I love myself the way I am. I appreciate myself as I am. I accept myself as I am. I am a beautiful creation of God. A shining living star in the middle of my forehead. And I see everyone as a sparkling point of light. My mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my friend, my teacher, my colleague, my subordinates, my boss, my seniors, everyone. Just bring their face in your mind and see the sparkling point of light in their middle of forehead. I am a sparkling point of light. And I see everyone else as a light. A beautiful creation of God. I accept each one, appreciate each one, and I love each one from the core of my heart. No matter what they are, how they are. I just appreciate God's creation. I visualize myself to be very comfortable, very loving, very caring, very humble, polite, sober. With every other person who come in my life. I am God's child. I am child of ocean of God, ocean of love. And I am a loveful being. I believe giving is getting in return. So I love everybody. And this is selfless love. This is real love. And this internal love is for each and everyone. I visualize my family life to be much better, much more peaceful, much more happier than yesterday. I visualize my professional life to be much more constructive, productive, and fulfilling. I see my behavior with each and everyone. Let it be family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, subordinates. Very, very healthy. I see myself very much happy and peaceful. Taking big, big responsibilities and still very easy, relax. I see myself in very higher position and still very humble and submissive. I see myself the way I should be, the way I want to be. My thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, my attitude, my behavior, and my personality is my own creation. Today, I take the charge of the responsibility of the quality of my thoughts, action, and words. Today, I decide to think positive, to speak positive, to do positive, and to be positive. And I see myself right from the morning till I go to bed, very happy, smiling, loving, caring. And I experience the Almighty Father has filled me with so much of positivity. That my inner personality has been totally transformed. Just try to visualize the Almighty Father, the Supreme Soul. It's showering His love, happiness, peace, all onto me, just like a shower. Try to feel the flow. My inner self has been totally calm, quiet, and stable. Try to feel the positive energy. And this positive energy radiates from the middle of forehead and enters into each and every cell in the brain. And every neuron gets charged. And slowly, the same vibrations spread in my entire body. I can feel a healthy mind in a healthy body. ready to take up the responsibility to create a better society, a better work life, a much better family life. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. I would like to request all the participants to put their questions in the chat box. We'll start our question answer session now. So anyone having any query regarding power of visualization in meditation, they can put your questions in the chat box and sister will clarify our doubt. And those who are in YouTube live session, they can also put their questions in YouTube chat box in comment section. We'll take up those questions as well. How to silence
the conscious mind. It needs a little bit of practice only. So the more and more you sit in meditation and you just slow down the speed of thoughts. The first thing we need to do is to slow down the speed of thoughts. And automatically when you start thinking positive, the number of thoughts also reduce, because maximum of our thoughts normally are waste thoughts. So when you slow down and you just try to have an eye on your thoughts, that I need to think positive, so automatically the number of thoughts gets reduced. Okay. And then you automatically feel that my mind has become silent. Actually, it never happens that you do not have any thought in your mind. Every time some or other thought is going on in your mind. But when we focus on a single thought for a longer period, we feel as if we do not have any thought in our mind. And that's actually the stage in meditation. We are focused on a single thought. And that stage continues for minutes together. And then and there you experience that stillness, that calmness, that stability. And that comes from practice, right? Sometime how to be consistent with meditation or good habits. Another question, how to stop negative self-talk? See, just like when you are driving a vehicle, suppose you have been in a wrong direction. So the moment you realize that you are in a strong direction, what you do? You suddenly apply a brake, and then you, with the use of your steering, you turn your vehicle to the right direction. Similarly, if we want to stop negative thinking, negative self-talk, then you have to have an eye on your mind. You have to have an eye on whatever you are speaking to yourself. So if you have an eye, if you observe on those things, then automatically whenever your mind is out of the way, then you come to know that I am not supposed to think this. I'm not supposed to talk to myself this way. So immediately, suddenly we need to apply a break. Means we stop ourselves. But only stopping ourselves is not enough. You should give a second positive thought to your mind. You should know what positive thought to be given to your mind. And that particular series of thoughts we get when we listen to the spiritual discourse in our day-to-day life. So every day, just like food is the diet for the body, you know what kind of food is to be given to your body so that you are healthy, you are strong, and you can work. Similarly, in spirituality, we understand that positive thoughts are healthy diet to the mind. Just like healthy diet is for the body is important, similarly, healthy thoughts for the mind is also very important. But the question arises, where from to get these healthy thoughts? And the source of healthy thoughts is the spiritual discourse, the what we say satsang, when you attend to some satsang, you listen to very good things, and then actually that acts as a healthy diet for the mind. And so automatically, if I'm thinking I'm good for nothing, for example, a thought came to my mind, I started comparing somebody with myself. I started comparing myself with somebody, and I could find that he's very skilled, he's very concentrated, he's very focused. And I find that I am not that focused, I am not that skilled. And a thought comes, I am good for nothing. Then I create a thought. Even in a big engine, a small nut or a small bolt has its own role. Yes or no? A very big engine. But a small bolt, a small nut has its own importance. Yes or no? If a simple nut and bolt gets loosened, then there may be a very big issue. So similarly, it's okay that he is blessed with very good skills, but it is not that I am good for nothing. I have my own role. I have my own role. Okay, if I'm impressed with somebody being very skilled, then I too can try to be skilled, no? I am not skilled if I compare myself to another person, but there is no reason to feel low. When we meditate, we feel that God is giving us a lot of energy to act the way we want. So automatically there is a strong determined thought, the level of self-confidence goes up, our willpower becomes strong. So we create a determined thought that that's okay, I get inspired, I get the inspiration from him, and today onwards I'll work on me and I'll try to upgrade myself, right? So that way we keep a full stop or we apply a break, and then we change the direction of our thought. We give a very positive direction to our self-talk, and then automatically the direction changes. Gopalji writes, I am not used to meditate with open eyes for visualization. Can it be more productive to meditate with eyes open and focused on a picture of what I want, like a vision board? Actually, in meditation, we keep our eyes open, but to start with, you can keep your eyes closed. But it has been found that when we keep our eyes closed, so it may be that you go to sleep. And meditation is not sleeping. Meditation is remaining awake and connecting the self with the Supreme and experiencing peace, love, and bliss. So that's the reason why we keep ourselves active, alert, and keep our eyes open. And moreover, this is Karma Yoga. Means God says you eat, you talk, you walk, you do your things, and at the same time, you keep a link with me. And then just imagine, can you eat without having your eyes, can you eat with your eyes closed? Can you walk with your eyes closed? You will say, no, it's not possible. I can walk, I can eat, I can do my things only with open eyes. So if I am used to practicing meditation in open eyes, Then say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I meditate. And when I get up from meditation, I start walking, still the same meditation is continuing because I know how to meditate in open eyes. So I am walking as well, I am connected to God. So I was meditating, just after meditation, I sat for having my food. So I'm having my food, but as well the connection is there because I am used to. So that Karma Yoga thing is possible only when we practice meditation with open eyes. But yes, that needs a lot of concentration, and that concentration comes from practice. So day 1, you may find difficulty. Day 2 will be easier. Day 3 will still much more easier. And maybe in a month, you will find that the open eyes meditation is very easy for me. I'm comfortable with that. Ritik writes, my head feels heavy nowadays. I want to learn visualization from you. I am associated with BK for 3 years, but still have not felt like calm that you told in your session. Yes, it is always good to get the guidance from somebody who is in your front. So I don't mind guiding you, but it will be much better from wherever you are. We have meditation centers. If you go to that center and if you talk to the sisters there, so they'll be teaching you the things sitting in front of you. And that way you will not only that you will listen to them, but as well you will just get their vibrations also. And that will help you to actually calm your mind and experience a deeper level of meditation. How to control anger in adverse situations which are beyond our control. Anger is also one of the barriers in meditation. Please suggest. Yeah, as I explained, no, we all know our own personality, right? I know in which all situations I get angry. So I just bring those situations in my mind, and in those situations, I visualize myself to be cool, calm, and stable. And the visualization has to be practiced many a times. Somebody telling lies, and I am peaceful. Being a detached observer, I just think it is his role, and remaining peaceful is my role. Telling lie is his role, and remaining peaceful is my role. I need not focus on his role. I need to focus on my role. So a number of times when you give the programming to your mind, you visualize yourself to be peaceful, even though somebody is telling lie in front of you. So slowly that thing starts working. So you have to work hard with you. It's not very difficult, but definitely it needs a lot of attention. That's it. Is it mandatory to wear white if we go to the center early morning? Actually, it's not mandatory. But just like when somebody goes to the school, a student goes to the school, then there is some school uniform. So similarly, we have this white uniform, but it's not mandatory. Just like in a school, you are forced to wear a uniform only. But here it's not that much hard and fast. It's good. You yourself will feel good if you are in white, because you will find almost everybody else in white dress. But wearing any dress is okay. No issues. Yes, any more questions I have left? Swapna Ben? If I have left any question, then please.
Yeah, I think you have covered almost all the questions, sister. Let me cross check.
Justifies worry.
Yeah. One sister said, like, it's very hard to visualize myself with the source, the supreme light, but in between my mind gets away. I manage to bring it back, and it
comes back. Yeah. I know I'll succeed one day. That's really good. Sometimes when you overthink, you don't know what is right or wrong to think. Yeah, actually, meditation helps in decision making. When we connect to God, no, the Almighty, we actually take the decision according to Him. Now I decide according to me. So now I feel that this is right. But it may be that after I do something, next moment or tomorrow, I feel that no, what I did yesterday was wrong. It happens with us. But when we meditate, our intellect gets connected with the Almighty. So we just try to see things in this light, that what would God appreciate? What would God want me to do? So when I feel that God wants me to be peaceful and I remain peaceful, today you will find it is right. Tomorrow also you will find it was right. And day after tomorrow also you will find it was right only. So that is why it is very much important to connect to God, so that each and every decision of ours, what we take, is very much quick and right. Yes, any more questions?
I think you have cleared all those queries. One more question.
How one finds which meditation is right for him or her? Actually, Raj Yoga meditation is very much universal. So sometimes some people say that some people are comfortable with Vipassana, some people are comfortable with Transcendental, some people are comfortable with Kriya Yoga, some people are comfortable with something else. It's not like that somebody is comfortable with nice tablets, somebody is comfortable with paracetamol tablets, somebody is comfortable with some other tablets. Nothing like that. Meditation is so universal. Raj Yoga meditation, especially what we experience, it has nothing to do with asana, pranayam or anything. It simply needs a little bit of practice and little bit of face-to-face guidance from our sisters who have been practicing meditation since long. And it becomes very easy, and it's very scientific, it is very logical. Those kinds of meditation or yoga or asana or pranayam, it may be that it suits to somebody and it doesn't suit to somebody that much. But Raj Yoga meditation is something which suits to everybody. So whatever kind of meditation you have tried till now, that's okay. But we suggest you try Raj Yoga meditation. We have 7 days meditation course, which is absolutely free of cost, and it is given in all our centers. So you can take the benefit of the course online or offline, whichever way is feasible to you, convenient to you. And I'm sure a few days of meditation will bring a lot of positive transformation in your personality. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And as you recommended it, I would like to request all participants, if you are having any special discussion you need or any guidance, you can write to us in our IT Wings mail ID, from which you have got the invitation, so that we'll guide you further. And I just wanted to know how many of you are willing to take the 7-day basic Raj Yoga meditation course. Please message in the chat box, so that we'll track the count and we'll contact you further. So just in 1 minute, just put in your chat box who all are willing to take 7-day courses in your nearby location, either online or offline. Okay. In 1 minute. Okay, Gagan Bhai. Okay, Benu Bhai. Okay, online they need. Okay. Okay, Anju Bhen at center she want. Okay. We are keeping a track of this, all these messages, and you'll get the invitation soon in your mail ID. Okay, Mohan Bhai also willing to take online course. Okay. Okay, thank you so much to all the participants. Okay, अभी हम रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे गुलाब दीदी जी को कि वो अपना वोट ऑफ थैंक्स हमारे सबके सामने रखेंगे. गुलाब दीदी जी.
ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति। आज के प्रोग्राम के लिए सबसे पहले सर्वशक्तिमान, सर्व के कल्याणकारी, सर्व के रक्षक, हम सब आत्मा के पिता परमात्मा शिव बाबा को तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उसके बाद हमारा I2 के चेयरपर्सन परम आदरणीय राज्योगिनी डॉक्टर निर्मला दीदी जी को मैं तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ, जिनके मार्गदर्शन में IT7 चल रही है। तो उसके बाद हमारा मधुबन I2 के चेयर कोऑर्डिनेटर राजयोगी यशवंत भाई जी को भी तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। उसके बाद हमारा भुवनेश्वर सब जोन के मुख्य हमारा परम आदरणीय राज्योगिनी लीना दीदी जी को भी दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ, जिनकी शुभ भावना से सेवा चल रही है। उसके बाद आज के हमारे विशेष वक्ता राज्योगिनी ब्रह्मा कुमारी अस्मिता बहन जी को दिल से बार बार धन्यवाद करती हूँ। बहन जी हम सभी को आज का टॉपिक्स पर बहुत बहुत तहे दिल से समझाया। इसके लिए मैं बहन जी को मेरी तरफ से और सभी भाई बहन की तरफ से और बाबा की तरफ से दिल से धन्यवाद करती हूँ, धन्यवाद करती हूँ। आपको बहुत बहुत थैंक्स दीदी जी। आज के प्रोग्राम में जिनका भी सहयोग रहा सभी को बहुत बहुत थैंक्स। आप सभी भाई बहन जिन्होंने इस प्रोग्राम में जुड़े हुए, चाहे जूम के माध्यम से चाहे यूट्यूब के माध्यम से, आप सभी को भी बहुत बहुत थैंक्स। सभी को धन्यवाद करते हुए परमात्मा की याद में रहकर मैं अपनी वोट ऑफ थैंक्स समाप्त करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक्स अस्मिता बहन जी, जो सेवा एवरडी से जिस समय जैसे भी कहे वो सेवा आज्ञाकारी होके बाबा की दे रहे हैं। और हमको इतना समय जो दिए ही मेडिटेशन कराया और बाबा को अनुभव विजुअलाइजेशन किया, मेडिटेशन कराया, तो बहुत हमको आनंद मिला। हम सब खुशी हुए और अनुभव भी किया उसको अपने कर्म में हम कैसे लगाएं और शांति सुख शक्ति प्रेम कैसे हमको मिल जाए। इसलिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अस्मिता पर।
दीदी आपका थैंक्स, आपने सेवा का अवसर दिया।
धन्यवाद। ओम शांति बहन जी।
अभी हम सभी मेडिटेशन करेंगे 2 मिनट। We'll all sit in meditation with the remembrance of Almighty and we'll end the session. Thank you.
सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर, सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को याद कर। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। आए कहाँ से क्यों है आए, सोचो क्या ले जाना है। जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, कभी नहीं भुलाना है। शुभ संकल्पों की, शुभ संकल्पों की करो रचना, विश्व का कल्याण कर। व्यर्थ न जाए जीवन अपना, पल पल को आबाद कर, सफल कर लो सांसें अपनी, परम पिता को